Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We gotta add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we review the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about the incredibly important breakout that is occurring right now on Bitcoin. As you will know, Bitcoin broke above $65,000 yesterday, which is a very important level because it represented the downtrending neckline on the inverse head and shoulders pattern that we've been watching for the last several weeks. With this breakout, we seem to be building a bull flag, which could lead us much farther to the upside, and some of your favorite altcoins have begun meteoric rallies. Today, we're going to be talking about all of those movements and what they mean for Bitcoin, and most importantly, how we can use those movements to generate wealth for ourselves, our families, our spouses, our children, and everyone else around us that we want to be able to bless. My name is Jeb McAfee. I've been working in the cryptocurrency space for almost 7 years, and I love teaching you guys how to make money in crypto and transform that wealth into life-changing results. So, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, let's get started. We love to read chat when we kick it off. We got a lot of people watching already, over 100 people in chat. Sean O'Brien is in chat, said President Joe Bollier's here. Ruan? I'm gonna say Ruan. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry if I'm getting that wrong. Siebert, I'm sure I got that right. Coin Operators in chat said, hashtag FinSov. If you don't know, financial sovereignty is our doctrine, our philosophy of how to approach money that begins with controlling the things in our possession. We want to be under God, above creation, in control of finances. You can tell that we've said that quite a bit. Cosmin B is in chat. Said, morning, Jeb to the moon. Good morning. Crypto Military Vet is in chat. Jeremy Shorter said, don't forget to smash those like and subscribe buttons, friends. Absolutely. Relax, it's Max. Said, Jeb here to pump us up even more. Yes, let's do it. Got a lot to cover today. Philly Skills 1428 in chat. Drian's here. Eye of the Beholder. Crypto Punk. Miguel Satchet. San Antonio's own Miguel. Joao Pereira? Pereira. That's Portuguese. I'm sorry. I'm probably getting that wrong. Ryan's in chat. Tripto Dad. Arslan. Ralph Bose. John P. Crispy Crypto Supreme and One House Productions said, yeehaw, you called it, Jeb. We did get this one right. We have been predicting that this inverse head and shoulders pattern would lead to a breakout to the upside on Bitcoin for the last several weeks. We began calling it back over here. We also correctly predicted that the entire market was going to drop to between $55,000 and $65,000 by saying it was going to drop between 15 and 25%. So we've gotten those calls right. We have gotten a good bit of those calls right recently. I don't in any regard want to say that we've gotten everything right, but we have been pretty spot on for the last month or so. So hopefully you guys have been following along with what we've been talking about, because we've been anticipating this breakout was going to come. I made a phone video talking about it on Monday. So if you want to go back and watch that video, I kind of detailed everything in that video. So check that out. But it's in a sense, in short, what we're witnessing right now is what is known as an inverse head and shoulders pattern. An inverse head and shoulders pattern is formed when you have a left shoulder, as you can see right here. This is actually from yesterday's video. So if you want to watch yesterday's video, feel free to go and watch it. You construct the left shoulder right here with a corrective movement on Bitcoin. Then you see the bottom drop down here, and we set a head. Then we see a right shoulder form right there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 points of contact on the neckline. On the fourth point of contact is when you have the breakout. And that is what we are witnessing right now. The only difference is that the neckline is on a downtrend, but that's okay. You see that happen sometimes on inverse head and shoulders pattern. Nothing to worry about there. We have our downtrending neckline right here. We had our first touch right here where we fell below the neckline. Our second touch to establish the degree of the trend line. Then we had our third touch here to establish the right shoulder. And our fourth touch here, as you can see, we essentially immediately broke straight through that level. And we rallied up to a very important level as well, about $67,000, which is the next level that we're going to have to contend with. It is the level of the left shoulder. It is possible that Bitcoin is going to need to break out of this before we really see the breakout get confirmed and people start feeling like it's confirmed. In my book, it is confirmed because we've broken the neckline. That being said, it's not all about Jeb. It never has been. And so we need to understand that the entire cryptocurrency space right now is eyeing this inverse head and shoulders pattern. And some people are looking at this level, $67,000, as the neckline, even though technically it's down here. But some people are looking at it as if it was up here, which means that we very well may need to see a breakout above $67,000 to really see the sentiment shift from this kind of what's going to happen mode to, yeah, we're going into a bull market mode. That is what we're looking at right now. So let's go ahead and pay close attention to Bitcoin and see what happens here. Now, the good news is a lot took place yesterday that is extremely bullish for Bitcoin. And part of that is the fact that we're trading sideways right here below that resistance. With Bitcoin trading sideways here, that builds for us a bull flag pattern, as can be seen right there. We have our flagpole that goes from the beginning of the rally right about here up to the top of the rally right about here before we enter into the flag. And the way you determine where the price target on a bull flag is simply by extrapolating as follows. And as you can see, the price target on that bull flag points us up towards about $71,000. And if we do go to $71,000, that would be very serious because it would mean that we would be right below this triple top here, this fourth top right here, and this little top right there. If Bitcoin is able, therefore, to break above $67,000, it's going to have quite a few different levels of resistance to contend with before it is able to break all the way through the current all-time high at $73,500 and go higher. We're going to have to break the previous bull market's all-time high at $69,000. We're going to have to break this downtrend right here that is set by these two levels here and here. We're going to have to break this level, which is the price target of the bull flag and the level that Bitcoin tested not once but 5 times here at $71,320. And then after that, we got to break the actual all-time high at $73,000. There's a lot of rallying that Bitcoin needs to do. There is quite a lot of resistance above us, if you will. And so Bitcoin is going to have to fight tooth and nail to get through it. And we don't know whether it's going to or not. What we do want to do is we do want to be prepared. And that's why I want to challenge you, if you are not already following one of our laws of money, which is to save and invest for wealth generation, then I would highly encourage you to begin doing that. Are you setting aside money every single month in your budget to invest? I hope you're putting that into retirement. I hope you're paying off debt. I hope that you're following the financial sovereignty way. First step, we've got to forsake foolishness. We've got to say nonsense. I'm done with this. We've got to declare war on chaos. You know, I was telling my son this morning, he's 3, right? I always have the most interesting conversations with him in the morning. He comes out and we're talking about how he cleaned up his room last night. I said, listen, we got to be careful of the chaos monster. Stuff just goes to pot sometimes, and we don't, and sometimes we don't even understand what happened, but things just get chaotic. It's called the law of entropy, but I'm calling it the chaos monster. That's why I told him. I told him the law because I like to help him have a big vocabulary. It's called the chaos monster. Call it entropy, whatever you want to call it. It's the law of physics. Things that are orderly go from a state of order to chaos. We've got to declare war on chaos. That is the first thing that God did in creation, and that's what we do when we bring order to anything, is that we bring order out of chaos. And so we've got to declare war on the chaos in our life, wherever it is that we want to succeed. If we want to succeed, we have got to say enough is enough. We've got to forsake foolishness, and we've got to choose fence off. Second step is we've got to make sure that we're always living on less than we make. Third step, we got to have a written plan for our money that's called a budget. Step 4, we got to save $2,500 for a starter emergency fund. Step 5, we got to pay off all our debt. Step 6, we're paying 15% of our household income into retirement. I want at least 90% of that to be in the United States stock market. If you want to put some of that into the Bitcoin ETF, then great. But after that, then you're going to be investing for wealth generation and paying down the house. And in those steps is where you start getting into your Bitcoin investment. And if you're in that part of the plan, then what I want you to do is to heavily consider, why aren't you buying Bitcoin yet? Okay, so you've paid off your debt. You're making extra payments on your mortgage. You're paying into retirement. Why not put $100 a month into Bitcoin? $25 a week. Why not? Why not dollar cost average into this market? Why not? If you're planning on holding it for the ultra long term, which is how you're going to build wealth, I don't want you buying something and trying to sell it a week later unless you're trying to be a day trader. If that's your strategy, then go for it. But don't try and just do a trade every once in a while. Okay? Don't try and just do a trade every once in a while. Oh, you know, I just kind of feel like I just kind of feel that I see a trade opportunity, but I never trade, and it's never been a plan of mine. Okay, then don't do it. There's plenty of opportunities. Here's how you build wealth. Invest in the market. Hold that investment for the ultra long term. Guys, I have Bitcoin that I bought, that I acquired even, at below $5,000 that I'm still holding on to. It's where a huge portion of our cryptocurrency portfolio comes from. That's why I'm so heavily weighted into Bitcoin, because I was acquiring Bitcoin down here in like March of 2019. We'd have people buy the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy for you know, $300. And they'd pay in a tenth of a Bitcoin. And I thought to myself, wow, you know, I'm just going to hold on to that. I'm just not going to sell it. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not even going to, like, for tax reasons, of course, it's business income, but I'm just going to leave it there and not even calculate it in the actual, you know, the expenses that the company's able to run with. We've got a bunch of Bitcoin now because we did stuff like that. And because I was dollar cost averaging. I dollar cost averaged 2 Ethereum a week back when it was worth $80. That's where we got a bunch of our cryptocurrency from. It's from doing that kind of stuff. So please, do as I did. Do as I did. Choose to be financially sovereign. Invest for the long term. And then, yeah, if you see a short-term opportunity, then great, go for it. But at that point, then what you're looking for is an actual job, which is like day trading or house flipping. That's not investment. That is a form of income. And you've got to be very good at those things to make money with them. If you are not already investing in the Bitcoin market, I would challenge you to ask yourself why. Why are you not investing in the Bitcoin market if you're here watching the channel every single day? Why are you not investing a portion of your income after you're already down there in the final steps of the FinSolve way into the cryptocurrency space every single day? Why not? I think you should. I think it's a mistake not to. Now, if you're in a bunch of debt, you got no business buying Bitcoin. I'm not talking about your mortgage. If you got $100,000 in student loans, you got no business buying Bitcoin at all. You need to be paying that off. If you're not investing for retirement, you got no business buying Bitcoin. You need to be investing into retirement. After you've done these things, invest into Bitcoin and put a lot of it into that. Live frugally. You know, so many people think, oh, I'm going to get rich because I'm going to make a bunch of money in crypto. Nonsense. Nonsense. You don't have to make a bunch of money to get rich. You do need to make a decent amount of money. You need to be able to make enough to live on and then also be able to invest. But it's not about making $1 million a year to get rich. No, those are the ultra rich. The people that get rich are people that are making 80, 100, 125, maybe 150 a year. That's a good income, but it's not Bill Gates or anything. And they invested it consistently over the long run. And you know what they did? They ended up becoming millionaires by the time they're 40 or 50. By the time they retire, they got $5 million in the bank account. I've coached these people, guys. I've sat in coaching calls with them, and they've got $5 million in the stock market, right? And I hate to say it, but some of the people that I've coached that built a bunch of wealth, like I'm talking people that I've coached that have built hundreds of millions of dollars worth of wealth, ended up management of our finances over the actual wealth generation itself. That's a radical idea, I know, but it is true. And so to tie all this back into Bitcoin, with Bitcoin breaking, be talking about the exact same thing that we're always discussing. We are investing in Bitcoin for the long term, and we are investing in other assets for the long term that we believe in. Another great example is Ethereum. Ethereum has not gone through a major rally just yet. It is still sitting here in this symmetrical triangle pattern. I'm sorry, in this falling wedge pattern that we've been discussing over the last several weeks. Has not really had a major breakout above the downtrend yet. Now, we have had a rally of about $100 over the last 48 hours or so, but we have not seen we have not seen Ethereum actually break bullish here in the same way that Bitcoin has. So it has a little bit of catching up to do. Solana, on the other hand, is starting to become a different question here. And this is where I think there's some more hope that Bitcoin's going to be able to rally some more, even if it goes into a short-term correction. Solana built an inverse head and shoulders pattern over the last several weeks, just as Bitcoin did. And as of this morning, or actually it was late last night, Solana broke its neckline here at about $159.50. That means that Bitcoin and Solana both broke inverse head and shoulders patterns, and people are going to see that. People are going to realize that, and they're going to pay close attention to that. All right, that is a very big deal. Now, with Solana on the regular chart, we're actually sitting right below the 0.618 to 0.65 Fibonacci golden pocket, so Solana's really going to have to fight to get through there, but if it does, then we're probably going to see a pretty large rally on Sol. Now, to be clear, I am holding Solana for this rally. I'm not holding Solana for the ultra long term because inflation is way too high. Its inflation is like 12% a year. Over the next several years, it might average 12% gains a year, but over the next 20 years, it's not going to do that. It just won't. Eventually, it's going to get big enough that it's just not going to be able to keep up with its own inflation. So I'm not holding Solana for the long run. I will be liquidating every last bit of it at the top. But when it starts getting to 250, 300, 400, I do expect that I'm going to be liquidating a lot of it and being very, very glad that I did. Ethereum, on the other hand, I am holding for the ultra long term because Ethereum is an asset that I reasonably expect will appreciate in value over time, and its inflation characteristics, which are some of the most important characteristics that we need to pay attention to when analyzing a cryptocurrency, they are exactly the way I would want them to be. It's been sitting right here around 120 million Ethereum for a very long time. It does technically have an infinite, or maybe you should say unlimited, and not having a maximum supply, but it does have a lot of burn that's going on with the actual market. So it has had this track record of long-term sustained growth. This kind of market right here that we see with this long-term sustained growth, this is a market that we almost only ever really see from Bitcoin and Ethereum. We have not seen this same kind of pattern in many of the other cryptocurrencies besides Bitcoin and ETH. A lot of other cryptocurrencies are contending for that position, but right now Bitcoin and Ethereum are the only two cryptocurrencies in the entire game that I would consider to be blue chips, which is why they are the only two cryptocurrencies in the entire game that I am holding for the ultra long term. Good deal. All right. Master of Parsnips is in chat. Verhoofdefluffen is in chat. Grand Roofing Incorporated is in chat. Good morning to you, Grand Roofing. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you are well and safe. Queen said, we will have a tremendous Thanksgiving. I think so, yeah. All right. Let's see. Yo, what's up? Hashtag FinSov. Mike Lowry said in chat. Shadrach Frost said, hashtag DCA, hashtag HODL, hashtag FinSov. Roll. Hendricks said, did anyone tell our governments about FinSov this week? Ha! That is hilarious. The government wants to be financially sovereign in the sense that they want to be sovereign over the currency. They want to be the only one that can print it, but they've got no problem breaking their own rules. Nobody else can print our currency because it might contribute to inflation. Nobody else can print our currency because it might contribute to them breaking the law. Nobody else can print our currency because it might contribute to X, Y, Z, and the third, as the government continues to do just that. Solana long-term, what about the inflation? That's exactly what I was saying. ETH is Betamax, Sol is digital streaming. The only issue with Sol, and I love Solana, not the only issue, but one of the issues with Sol is the problem of the inflation characteristics. Solana has experienced enormous inflation over the last 2.5 years. Enormous inflation. You can see the market capitalization compared to the price. You see that? If you come in here and you run the numbers, Solana has experienced at least 25% rule. Okay, it's pronounced rule, Hendricks. Cool. That's an awesome name. Solana has experienced at least 25% inflation in the last 2.5 years since it hit all-time high. At least. When Solana was sitting at $161 last time, so let's just give it this peak right here. Let's call it 161 right there. Let's find an area where it was trading at 161. When you come here and look at Solana, right here is 161. Let's see, on, let's call it 103, 2022. Right? It's 170. Let's give the benefit of the doubt. Right now, the market capitalization is $72 billion. 103, 2021, market capitalization was $52 billion. So to have the same price on Solana, you've got to have $20 billion more market capitalization. If you run the numbers on that, like I said, we are looking at roughly 25% inflation in 2.5 years. And the reason for that is because of the fee versus block reward dilemma that comes up when you're trying to create scalability in a protocol. So there's two different ways that you can pay the validators of a proof of stake network. You can either pay them in block rewards, or you can pay them in fees. Ethereum and Solana have both gone two different routes. One of them is absolutely superior. What do I mean? Well, you can either pay the miner through fees, which leads to fees being quite high sometimes, because it's an auction-based system the same way it is on Bitcoin. Or you can pay them in block rewards and keep the fees very low, and that brings on this surge of users, but it also creates an inflationary cryptocurrency. Solana took the, dare I say, the easy way out and created a lot of block rewards to keep the fees very low. The fees are very low, but the block rewards are very high to pay the validators, the stakers. And so Ethereum didn't do that. Ethereum didn't take the easy way out. Instead, there are quite low block rewards. In fact, even with the burn, there is almost this non-inflationary property going on in Ethereum right now, but the fees get high. Well, the good news is that there are layer 2 workarounds to fees. We know a lot of those on Ethereum. And so there are ways to get the fees under control without increasing the block reward to the point where you become massive inflationary. But I'm going to be honest, anybody that's planning on buying a cryptocurrency for over 20 years or over 10 years, like I am, you have no business buying Solana in its current inflationary state. Why? Because it's going to lose 90% of its value over the next 10 years. Now, it might 10x in price, but if it 10x's in price and it or 10x's in if it 10x's in price, but it loses 90% of its value because it's 10x the amount of circulating supply, then you broke even by getting a 10x. That's not good math. I don't want to have to bet on the market getting a more than an order of magnitude growth in a decade to be able to make money on it. That's not something that I am looking for. So I'm looking for cryptocurrencies that have very good inflationary properties. As much as there is inflation baked into the United States economy, at least the United States stock market rallies 10 to 12% a year, and inflation tracks about 2 to 3% a year. So you can subtract the number, and you end up coming out on top about 7 to 8% by investing in the United States stock market, which is pretty freaking great. If you invest in Solana, you've got to subtract at least 10% a year to be able to keep up with Solana's own inflation, not to mention that Solana is denominated in the United States dollar, so you've got to add that on top of it. So you've got to get at least 13% profit on Solana year over year just to break even. Whereas in the United States stock market, you got to get 3%. Whereas in Bitcoin and Ethereum, you got to hit like 1%. It's nonsense. So I will not be holding Solana for the next 10 years, not with its current inflationary properties. Can it make 13% in the next year? Yeah, I think it'll double in the next year. And that will be better than its 13% loss or so. Is it going to do that for the long term? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. So please keep that in mind, guys. We've got to invest in things that we reasonably expect will appreciate in value over time, and the inflation inside of these cryptocurrencies is a big problem. That being said, Solana is one of our biggest holdings, but I am planning on liquidating it in less than a year and a half. So there you go. Definitely trading Sol for this bull market. I don't know what the F you're talking about, Jim. That's okay. What I'm talking about is that you've got to understand inflation. He just said he trades Solana this bull market. Yeah, we bought Solana for this bull market. We're going to be selling that Solana at the top. Kind of a shorter term investment of this with the span of about a year. Ethereum is also inflationary and unlimited supply. BTC is 21 million hard cap. Yeah, Ethereum does have an unlimited supply, but the supply of Ethereum, let me see if I can find a chart on this. The supply of Ethereum has largely stayed about the same for a while. In fact, if anything, it's actually kind of gone down. So let's look here on Y charts. You can see over here on Y charts that a little while ago, Ethereum's inflation actually stopped, and it has actually gone down a little bit. You can see the amount of Ethereum has started to shrink actually because the burning is quicker than the burn rate of the Ethereum is faster than the creation of new Ethereum. And so what we're witnessing is that Ethereum, at least at this point in its history, is non-inflationary. Now that can change. Ethereum is being constantly updated. So if it does change, then my stance on it will change. But at least for the time being, see if we can get another chart here. Yeah, at least for the time being, Ethereum is very much non-inflationary. And then if we come back, I'll see if I can find the Bitcoin. Same thing on Y charts. Let's see if I can get this up right now. Yeah, and Bitcoin is in a very similar boat. Over the last 5 years, Bitcoin has gained about 2 million Bitcoin. It has gone through, over 5 years, less than 10% inflation. So it is already less inflationary than the dollar. You can see the halving took place here, and the degree changed. And so now we see that the halving has taken place here, and the degree has changed again. Bitcoin and Ethereum, at least for the time being, are less inflationary than the United States dollar. And they've got incredible fundamental characteristics that lead them in the direction of rallying over time. Bitcoin having its ETFs, Bitcoin having mass adoption going on worldwide, even as we speak. Ethereum being its secondary, its its runner-up, the home of pretty much all of the layer 2 ecosystem in the entire cryptocurrency market. So just keep those things in mind. Let's see if I can find the same chart on Solana. See if I can find the same chart on Solana. I'm just pulling this up as we speak. I might be able to see the Solana supply. Yes, let's see here. So yeah, you just have to be very, very, very careful. So you can kind of see the chart here. Now it slows down. These black bars right here, I don't know if this is not the best chart. I'm gonna have to find a better chart for this. These black bars are daily changes, so ignore these black bars, but you can see the blue bars here. This is month by month. You're seeing about 3 million or more Solana put into the ecosystem every single month. From February 2021 to October of 2020, the supply of Solana went from 261 million. Again, this is in a year and a half. February 2021 to October 2022 went from 261 million to 360 million. Increased the supply by almost a third, by about 28%. About 28% or so in a year and a half. That's the kind of thing you're dealing with Solana. And now, again, look at the numbers down here. These black bars are every single day. So ignore the black bars. Let me see if I can find a better chart on that. Let's see if I can find a better chart on that. I'm sure I can. Masari might have something. Let's check here. I mean, everybody's got a chart of this kind of thing. Here we go. Here's the circulating supply of Solana. You obviously had the big jump here in 2021 when things kicked off. So in 2021, the circulating supply was 262 million. Today, it is 448 million. You can take a look at this supply of Solana right over here. And there is no maximum supply. Keep that in mind. This is not just an unlock. The unlock period, the circulating supply of Solana went from 262 million to 448 million. Now, let's do a little bit of math here. I'm going to pull that up. That is an increase. Yeah. So, between let's just go ahead and get a number here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And again, I hold Solana. I'm just not holding it for the long term. From January 11th, 2021, let's call it January, Solana supply was 262 million. The last month, in May, the circulating supply was 448 million. So 448 divided by 262 is 1.709. Call it 1.71. To get the percentage, you have to take off the 1, and you get 71% or 70.9%. Call it 71% inflation in that time period. Well, if we go back to that time period, how long was that time period? That time period was between January of 2021 and May of 2024. So let's do some math here, right? January of 2021 to January of 2024 was 36 months, 12 months a year for 3 years. February is 37 months. March is 38 months. April is 39 months. May is 40 months. So we've got 71% inflation divided by 40 months equals 1.775% inflation, not per year, per month. Multiply that by 12, and you've got 21.3% inflation per year. Multiply that by 2.5 years between the last all-time high and the current all-time high. And remember how I've been saying we've seen at least 25% inflation? Well, I just did the math for you. It's actually 53% inflation. I didn't want to hate on Solana too bad. But the inflation between about here and about here has been over 50%. Okay, the United States dollar averages about 2.5% inflation over 10 years. That is 25% inflation. Not good. Don't like that. Not a fan of that at all. But it's not 71% inflation in 40 months. In other words, whereas in a decade, the United States dollar will inflate by 25%, Solana inflates by almost 25% a year. About 20% a year. So, if you want to know why I'm not holding Solana for the long term, that's why. You probably haven't seen that before. Everybody wants to sing its praises. Again, I love Solana. I've got some of it. I think it's great technology. But riches gained by vanity will soon be diminished. And the trade-off of screwing over your investors by keeping the inflation super high to keep the fees low got you a lot of users, But in the long run, it's going to run away people like me that would have invested in it otherwise if not for that. So let's keep all of that in mind. Rule. I'm going to call you Rule. Rule Hendricks said, off topic. Nice new glasses, Jeff. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Angela said, Sol is the GOAT. I don't know what the heck he's talking about either. I'm only concerned one bull market at a time. Things can change up in any project. They can. But if you're in cryptocurrency, I've got a feeling you're here because you're tired of the United States dollar's inflation. I just want to make sure that everybody understands Solana's inflation problem is literally an order of magnitude worse than the dollars. It's an order of magnitude worse than the dollars. Okay. Now, listen, guys. Again, I think Solana is a great project. I think that Anatoly Yakovenko is a genius programmer. He just might not be an economist. And I think Solana deserves to be ranked number 5. I think it deserves to be at $72 billion in market capitalization. Again, it's one of our biggest holdings. That being said, we do have to keep in mind. The fact of the matter, which is that inflation is a problem for investors. It's a huge problem for investors. So when I said that it was 10% a year, let's actually update that. The Solana is looking at about 21% inflation per year right now. And so to keep up with that inflation, it's got to make 21% a year just to keep up with the inflation. Can it do that this bull market? Yes. That's why I'm holding it. Is it going to be able to keep doing that? I'm not so sure. I am not so sure. All right. Museum of Corruption said, thanks for that. Yeah, absolutely. Master of Parsnip said they sold half of their Solana. Hubar Barnett said that God blessed us with income or a job. Really appreciate. Hubar, we're not currently hiring. I'm sorry. I do apologize. We will be in the future, though. Ben said, you've got a good voice for this. Yeah, I may have a good voice for radio, but golly, do I have a good face for radio. All right, let's read a little bit more chat. Hey, guys, also want to let you know today's stream is brought to you in part by NordVPN. If you have not already signed up for NordVPN, you absolutely should because people are out there literally right now trying to hack and steal from you. I just saw an email this morning where somebody was pretending like I just bought something, trying to get me to click on the email. And they're trying to get your information. They're trying to get an IP address. They're trying to get all kinds of different information about you that they can use to hack you and steal from you. So please don't let that happen. Sign up for NordVPN with the link in the description box down below and ensure that you stay safe, or go to nordvpn.com/Jeb. USD is like 8.5%, bud. Yeah, it is higher than they say. That's true. The United States dollar's inflation is definitely quite high. Ben dropping a dab in the chat. There you go. Ethereum was 117 million, EIP 1559, now 120 million, Jeb. Exactly. That's my point. Ethereum is very much so non-inflationary at this point in time. And should that continue, which I think it will, then it becomes an absolutely great cryptocurrency to invest in. And it's one of the reasons why I think it will end up doing very well. Because inflation will steal your cryptocurrency. It'll steal your wealth that you're trying to gain. Jeb, you don't have ADA as a long hold. I do have ADA as a long hold. It's just not a big project for. It's not. I don't look at it the same way that I look at a lot of other cryptocurrencies. I am probably still going to sell it when we get to the all-time high, because there's other things I want to do with the cryptocurrencies, right? There's other things that we want to do in relation to that we want to do in relation to investment, right? So we're going to cycle out of some of that and put that somewhere else. All right. Thoughts on ADA moving slow? Yeah, I mean, the reason that ADA is moving slow is because having a really hard time getting adoption on its layer 2. It's just, it needs it. So, like, this is what I'm talking about with Ethereum and why Ethereum is our second largest holding. The total TVL in the entire crypto space is 92 billion. Ethereum holds 53 billion. It's about 60% market share. Big deal. About $80 billion in stablecoins market cap. Huge amount. It's half of the stablecoin market. It's massive. And so when we're looking at something like Cardano, it has a very hard time even competing at all. When you look at Cardano, it's 259 million. Stablecoins market cap 16 million. This is not the kind of number that we're looking for Bitcoin to be able to we need a lot more adoption on Cardano for it to be able to take off. You just do. It is because there's such a fervent community. It's because of Charles Hoskinson that Cardano is even where it is right now, which is sitting at rank number 10. And like Cardano, I think is going to do well. I appreciate the fact that it has a hard capped supply at 45 billion that we're already 80% of the way towards. I think that's wonderful. It's definitely a huge point in its favor. Unfortunately, Solana and Cardano are not the same project because Solana's got some of the, most adopted, greatest technology in the crypto game, and it's got a lot of attention. And Cardano has the unlimited max supply. It has the fixed maximum supply. So I think both of them have great technologies, and if they both were kind of combined into each other, if all of their benefits were one cryptocurrency instead of two, it'd probably be able to take on Ethereum quite well. But because Cardano stays up and Solana goes down, but at the same time Solana has adoption and Cardano doesn't, but at the same time because Cardano has a fixed maximum supply and Solana doesn't, then it's almost like a house divided can't stand, and that's the main competition against Ethereum. There is no other competition against Ethereum besides Cardano and Solana, and neither one of them have what it takes to compete with Ethereum right now until some key metrics change. People that are worth their salt are investing in Ethereum and holding it for decades. People that are worth their salt are not really doing that in Solana because of the inflation. It's just the way it is. It's just a fact. You don't hold something that inflates 20% for a very long time. Why would you do that? That's a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. If you want to do that, move to a nation that's got 20% inflation, hold money in a savings account with no interest on it. That's absolutely asinine. All right. Ben Galt said, are there any charts that we can track token inflation? That's not a term used typically by others. Yes, so token inflation, you can find it by looking at the maximum supply. The way I found those charts earlier is by coming to Google, and we typed in maximum supply over time by Solana. YCharts has some stuff. Masari has some stuff. So Masari is where we were looking at this chart earlier. See, Masari.io down here has it. And then you come down here to charts, go down to supply, and there's the chart right there. You can see it's almost actually picked up. Like, it's crazy. In the last year, the supply has gone from 396 million to 448 million. That is about 15%, 14, 15%. It's a lot. It's a lot of inflation. It's a lot of inflation. Just comparing market cap chart to price chart on CMC works pretty good for me. Jeb does it all the time. Yeah, exactly. And so you can do that. You're not going to get the exact number that way, but you can see the problem, right? So you see this is the price chart. This is the market cap chart. Oh my goodness, what's going on here? Well, it's all that inflation that we talked about. That's the problem. It's a buttload of inflation, and it's not good for you or your pocketbook. Now, guys, something that's not good for you or your pocketbook either is, which they don't really have those anymore, but if something that's not good for you or your wealth is getting it lost because the chaos monster I talked about earlier comes and causes you to lose your private keys. You see, I want you to store your cryptocurrency either in an ETF or in cold storage if you can. And so those are the two best ways to do that. But if you're going to store it in cold storage and you lose a key, then you lost the investment, and goodness gracious, that's a lot of risk to be taking. And so Uphold has created the ultimate solution to that. If you come to uphold.com, products and services, and go to Vault, please click the link in the description box down below, then you will find this page, uphold.com, and their Vault program. The Vault program works a little bit like this. You can store your Bitcoin and XRP here, and you've got 3 keys. You hold on to 2 of them. Uphold holds on to 1 of them for safekeeping. And should you lose one of your keys, Uphold's key can stand in the place of the one you lost, and you can get into your vault, reset the entire system. And just because you lost a key doesn't mean you lost your cryptocurrencies. All of that while also having access to 24/7 instant trading on the Uphold exchange. So very, very excited about this. If you guys have not already, make sure to come to uphold.com with the link in the description box down below. Sign up. It's only $4.99 a month. That is a small price to pay, or $49.99 a year. That is a small price to pay, and there's a 30-day free trial. Small price to pay for security and private storage with assisted key replacement. This is a no-brainer. This is an absolute no-brainer. Please check this out. Do it for yourself. Links in the description box down below. All right. Can Bitcoin dominance reach 60%? Absolutely it can. Will it? Probably not. We're going to see the altcoins rallying quite substantially over the next 6 months. I don't know when exactly it's going to start, but I do believe it's going to. We're still in the first phases of the bull market. We know that because the Bitcoin dominance is still increasing. The altcoins will have their day. They just haven't had their day yet. And because they have not had their day yet, Bitcoin has outpaced them and we've gained market dominance. Well, we've seen some flutters over the last 24 hours that the altcoins may be getting ready to move. Solana has rallied 5% in the last 24 hours. A minute ago, that was at 9%. Cardano is up 2%. And so I do believe that we're going to see a rally on Ethereum and on Solana and on Cardano and all of your other favorite cryptocurrencies and your other altcoins coming very, very soon. Chat. I love it when you guys call in and give your input. Vrhuftifluffen said, "Good morning, Vietnam." Somebody said they were in Hanoi. 12B Panda said hello from Hanoi. Good morning, Vietnam. Did I get that right? Probably not. Jeb, you should try inviting Peter Schiff for a healthy debate. Peter Schiff's a little shifty to me, personally. I would love to debate Peter Schiff. That sounds like an absolute blast. If he wants to come on the show, that'd be great. What was the site you just had up? Well, we've had several up. We've had Messari up here, MESSARI.io, which is where we have the Solana circulating supply. You can see how gross it is. It's just absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Terrible. You can also see the total value locked over here on DeFi Llama. DeFi Llama. DEFI Llama. And then we've also got CoinMarketCap. And as far as Vault is concerned, you can find the link for Vault in the description box down below. Make sure to check out Vault. It's good. It's good stuff. Vrhuftifluffen said lol. Okay. Good evening from Bali. Shout out to Bali. Got Bali in the house. Man, we really do have a worldwide audience. Mr. Worldwide. All right. Guys, I also want to let you know about a sponsor that I'm very excited to have on, and that is none other than Crypto.com. You heard it right. We have got the one, the only premier trading platform in the entirety of the United States. It is Crypto.com, trusted by over 100 million users. Zero fee USD deposits. They are CFTC regulated, which means they are official. You've also got an incredible way to invest in the cryptocurrency space. Guys, they've got so many products over here. You can buy over 350 different cryptocurrencies. You've got your Crypto.com EFTs. Prime over here is Build Your Wealth. Check this out. Build generational wealth. Register now and enjoy 1% deposit bonus, 5x margin trading, and other privileges designed for high net worth traders. Eligible balance, $1 million. Trade with near zero fees. Get 1% uncapped deposit bonuses. Transfer $1 million or more for those of you that are big whales. 5x margin for bigger trades. It's a big deal. 1-to-1 peg and uncapped fiat limits. There's so many products over here that you guys can sign up for. You got your rewards over here, a loyalty program built for everyone. Go farther on your journey to unlock achievements and tangible rewards for every trade you make. Earn up to 10% PA on stablecoins, including the base rate, including the base earn rate of up to 5% PA. See this? Look at all this beautiful art as well. Get up to 8% back in CRO when using the Crypto.com Visa card. Very cool stuff, guys. $200 bonus for every referral with no limits. That's awesome. So sign up for Crypto.com. Get other people signed up. Make sure to go check it out, guys. The whole referral program over here is amazing. So make sure to check out Crypto.com. The link is in the description box down below. Courage is the rarest virtue, folks. Yes, it is very rare. Born brave. Hashtag fortune favors the brave. All right, guys, I hope you have enjoyed today's stream. It has, as always, been a great deal of fun. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I am very excited to see you guys continuing on here in your journey of financial sovereignty, and I'm very excited to teach you guys more about the principles of financial sovereignty. So stay tuned as we continue to dive deeper into those concepts. I'm very excited to share all of this information with you guys. Stay tuned because we got a cool video coming out this afternoon. We are going to wrap it out, but before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.